Don't you just freaking love it when you film a 30-minute video and there's absolutely no audio? That just happened to me. What's going on, guys? Ryan Martillo here at the Crypto Fiend Studios. I hope you guys are having an awesome day because I am as well, and you should be too because cryptocurrencies are doing wonderful today. Nonetheless, we have a lot we are going to be talking about. First off, I want to briefly go over the market and where we currently stand, what we experienced over the past week. I also want to run down what's going on with the United States and Donald Trump, as well as some exciting developments happening in the cryptocurrency space. I want to go over 4 reasons why your trades suck and why they're not working. And then lastly, I want to go over a cryptocurrency that I am very, very passionate about right now and I think could potentially have a lot of potential in the future. So, no more wasting your time. Let's jump right into things. First off, with the cryptocurrency space, we are sitting roughly exactly around $300 billion right now. I know it's not what we experienced in the bull run, but we are still continuing to grow and we are holding these levels relatively strong. We just did have a recent dip to around $9,000 for Bitcoin, and we are back over $11,000 at the recording of this video. Bitcoin dominance is still crushing it at 65.4%, and 24-hour volume is very, very high, surprisingly sitting at $64 billion. Now, I want to emphasize that a lot before we move onward, because yes, the market cap is not what it used to be. It's 300 billion. We're working our way back up, but the fact that 24-hour volume is crushing records that we experienced in the bull run is astronomical. That is absolutely phenomenal, and that just goes to show that a lot of money is moving right now in the cryptocurrency space and you're just not realizing it. The average Joe has no idea that cryptocurrency is booming right now, and of course you're here watching this video because you are a smart mofo. But also, I want you guys to understand that yes, we see on the screen that it's $64 billion worth of 24-hour volume, but that's not including all of the over-the-counter trading happening right now with institutions. Now, if you're not familiar with OTC trading, pretty much how it works is an exchange between wallets. So I'm a big institution. I have millions of dollars that I want to put into Bitcoin, but I don't want to put it onto an exchange and go through regulatory framework and have to fluctuate the price movement of Bitcoin, because that would not allow me to continue to buy more in the future at these current levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go talk to this dude, Joe Schmo down the street, and say, hey, I will pay a premium on the Bitcoin that you already own, and all I want you to do is send your Bitcoin to my Bitcoin wallet and I will give you cash. So that is what's happening right now in the cryptocurrency space, and I'm sure billions and billions of dollars are flowing in and out of the space through this method. Nonetheless, not too much else happening right now. Altcoins are doing very well today. Everything is in the green. As you guys can see on the screen here, when we look at the 7-day, Bitcoin's down around 5%. Ethereum is really still in the dumps, around negative 15%. And as you guys can see, the majority of altcoins are in the red on the weekly, but not too crazy. Things are starting to turn around for the better, and I will be talking about this actually in a little bit as to how you could most definitely take advantage of situations like this dip that we just experienced. So if you guys aren't familiar, President Donald Trump made a tweet about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies over the past week, stating, "I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based out of thin air," Trump said. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activities. This blows my absolute mind, and anyone that believes what comes out of this tweet, I don't want to say this man's mouth because He's a good president. I'm not a huge fan of him. We're not getting into politics. All I'm saying is this tweet was 100% fabricated, not by him. His thumbs did not tweet this tweet, and they're doing it as a scare tactic. It's so obvious, and it's unfortunate that the average person in the United States or anywhere in the world is going to see this and believe it. They're going to believe the president that cryptocurrencies are based out of thin air, and that they're all used for unlawful behavior like drug trade and other illegal activities, which is complete nonsense. First off, there are a handful of cryptocurrencies that are created, have value based out of thin air, and it is what it is. But if you look at Bitcoin specifically, it's not based out of thin air. It's based out of mathematics, code. It's 10-year span of an unhackable code, and the people, I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but it's so true. The people give it value, and that's why it's worth so much, because of supply and demand. It's not worth $11,000 for just fun of it, and it's not all used for unlawful behavior like illegal drug trade. That's just absolute nonsense. Now, when Bitcoin just came out, yes, it was used for that, because you could easily get away with stuff like money laundering and drug trade, but it's not like that anymore. You will easily get caught, and you will easily be tracked through a handful of different methods that are being developed. So the fact that they came out with this is kind of good, in my opinion. This is bringing cryptocurrencies to the front. It's really starting to get exposure. Crypto and Bitcoin is about to be a household name, and President Donald Trump is the one that is going to be helping to do so. Now, unfortunately, like I said, he's not really doing it in any great manner. He's not saying anything good about it, but it's getting people talking. And also, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it seems like every time something's not necessarily illegal, but maybe banned or not allowed, people like to do the exact opposite and not listen to the people making the rules. I don't know. I did that when I was a kid. When my mom told me not to do something, I exactly did the opposite, and I did what I wanted to do. And I think cryptocurrencies are no different. I mean, the biggest companies in the world are building off of it, and they can't stop it, because if they try to ban crypto or Bitcoin in the United States, all of these companies and all of this money that the US could be bringing to its country and the jobs that it could be creating, they're all going to go elsewhere. They're going to go to the countries that are continuing to develop at an astronomical rate, like Switzerland, Malta, etc., and they're not going to slow down in those other countries. And that's that. Now, with the Libra testimony, days later, the Libra project was in the hot seat during a U.S. Senate Banking Committee hearing. Facebook crypto chief David Marcus promised to work with the U.S. regulators before launching Libra, hoping to calm lawmakers' fears that adoption by the company's 2.4 billion registered users could undermine the stability of the global financial system and give Facebook access to too much personal financial information. Now, this is something to really think of, and it is kind of scary, and it's understandable why the U.S. Senate is trying to attack this now, and in a very polite manner, because keep in mind, if you're not familiar, Libra is based in Switzerland. So technically, the United States can't really touch them on this, and the United States is just coming at this like, please, let us just help regulate your framework. Let's make sure everything is in order and correct, because if you guys mess this up or you do something that is to an extreme, you can literally mess up the global economy and put everyone in a bigger hole than we already are. So it completely makes sense what they want to do with the United States. And that's that. Also, another thing to consider is all the companies that are backing Libra. I talked about this in the past, just to go over it real briefly. It's not just the 2.4 billion registered users. It's billions and billions more. And I know there's only 7 billion in the world, but taking a factor that 2.4 is 2.4 billion just on Facebook, not including WhatsApp, not including Messenger or Instagram, and that's not including all of the companies that invested into the Libra organization. All these companies like Visa, MasterCard, eBay, Coinbase, PayPal, Uber, Lyft, they all did not invest into Libra just to say they're an investor and maybe seek rewards in the future. No, they invested because I guarantee they're going to be accepting Libra on their platforms. And when that happens, it's over. It's going to crush. In my opinion, Libra is going to dominate the internet as a currency, and that's just the way it's going to be. So the U.S. sees this as a massive threat to the U.S. dollar, to the world economy, and they're trying to not necessarily extinguish it because they really can't. They're just trying to make sure everything goes according to plan, and also making sure that there's no crazy amounts, there's no money laundering or anything like that. And I think we're going to see a big step in the right direction over the next year with regulation, with the SEC and the IRS coming out and finally giving us some real guidelines when it comes to taxes and all that sort of stuff. I think Libra is going to help drastically push cryptocurrencies in the right direction when it comes to the maturity of everything, as well as helping pricing, of course. Now, we all know Libra is its own currency, and they're kind of in competition with Bitcoin and every other cryptocurrency out there. But I think Bitcoin will still continue to hold true to its name and stay number one for quite some time, to the simple factor that people really do believe it to be a store of value compared to Libra that's just going to be a transactable currency based on the US dollar. So I don't think we have anything to really worry about. Everything is going according to plan, sorta, but I will keep you guys updated on any further news when it comes to this Libra testimony. So next up, I want to go over 4 reasons your trading strategy never works. And this is not coming from me personally. This is coming from cryptocoinnews.com, ccn.com. But I found it very fascinating and very, very true, honestly. And a lot of these I can say myself I have done and I've learned from making these mistakes. So first off, number 1, you're too scared to buy the Bitcoin bottom. These are 4 reasons your trading strategies never work. You're too scared to buy the Bitcoin bottom. And this is the majority of people probably watching this video. It's me in the past, but I've learned from my mistakes and I'm not afraid anymore. The most successful traders in the world, not just in cryptocurrencies, buy when there's blood in the streets. They buy when people are scared. They buy when people are afraid. And that's what you need to do with cryptocurrency if you want to stack as many Satoshis as possible and potentially seek the largest reward possible in the future. You need to buy the Bitcoin bottom. Now, I understand it is practically impossible to time the Bitcoin bottom, but to get a general idea or grounding of where the Bitcoin bottom is and make a position. You don't have to do 100% at one time, but maybe dollar cost average on the way down into the dips. And if you want to dollar cost average on the way up, selling out or whatever, you could do that as well. I find that the best strategy when it comes to investing is dollar cost averaging, and that's a real good way to do it. But don't be afraid when things are red. Like a perfect example was about 2 days ago. The majority of altcoins were down around 20%, and Bitcoin dropped from 11,500 to right around 9,000. That is an incredible buying opportunity, and I'm sure the majority of people didn't do it because they were afraid that they would continue to lose money on the downturn. But obviously, you'd be seeking some pretty good returns right now. So the second rule, you're allowing your emotions to run wild. This sort of plays into rule number 1 with being scared to buy the bottom. But emotions and investing are 2 things that need to stay away from each other. And I learned this personally as well. I've lost a lot of money letting my emotions get involved, especially back in the 2017 bull run. But in trading and investing, emotions are expensive. Any form of emotion such as fear or euphoria can cost you money. In a bull market, people should be printing cash while they sleep. However, fear prevents many from entering the market at opportune moments, especially during pullbacks. As a result, they get left behind when the asset resumes its uptrend. And a perfect example is when Bitcoin was 14,000 a week ago. You told yourself, damn, I should have really bought last week. And then when Bitcoin drops to 11,000, you say, damn, I'm glad I didn't buy, but I'm not going to buy right now. So number 3, you have you refuse to adapt to changing market conditions. Persistence is the key to success in many fields, but not in trading. Traders must be ultra flexible. They have to be able to switch their bias based on the information given to them by the markets. This also sort of plays into number 2. A perfect example for me, a little story for you guys. I was a huge Substratum fan. I was heavily invested in Substratum, and Substratum unfortunately tanked drastically in value and has not recovered since. I did have my emotions deeply involved into that investment, and I paid the price. I did sell out when the price was dropping drastically, and I didn't lose everything, but I lost a lot of money because I let my emotions get the best of me, and I thought they were going to make a comeback. But you need to not follow necessarily the overall news. You need to follow the price movement, and that's what this is all about. It's about making money. You might love these companies. You might die for these companies. You might get a tattoo of some of these companies. But in the end, it's about your money. And if you lose all your money, no one's going to be there for you to help you out. I mean, you might have some friends and family. I'm not trying to make this too dark for you guys, but that's just a good example. I lost money because I let my emotions get involved. Don't do the same. Don't do the same. Next up, number 4, you trade for the sake of trading. Don't just trade to get this addiction of trying to make a 50% return every single day, because it's not going to happen. And in the grand scheme, you're going to lose way more money than you would have made by holding in the long term, or you would have made about the same, and you would have to go through all the stress of sitting on your computer every single day, stressing about the price movement, trying to determine when to buy in and out, and having to compete with all the bots in the cryptocurrency space. It's just unrealistic, and you should not do it. So the legendary trader Jess Livermore once said, "The money is made by sitting, not trading." All successful traders know this by heart. You either wait for the perfect setups or you follow the trend. You don't sweat the daily fluctuations when your chances of success are high. So don't sit around and just trade for the fun of it. Wait for the right opportunity to come around, whether that's a couple weeks, whether that's a couple months. It will come as long as you have a game plan and you're patient and you stick to your game plan. Now, you have to obviously be realistic with this. You can't say, oh, I'm going to wait for Bitcoin to go to $2,000, because it's not going to happen, buddy. It's absolutely not going to happen. So be realistic, and when your price points are hit, jump on in and don't look back, because if you don't jump on in and maybe the price falls a little further and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy in even lower, and then the price spikes back up and you miss your opportunity. So be patient. Patient and persistence equals success. And I promise you guys, if you do follow these 4 rules, you will drastically change your trading skills. Now, personally with me, I am a long-term holder. I trade occasionally on good opportunities. I trade on swing trades sometimes, but I am mainly a long-term holder, and I'm very fine with that. I tried day trading in the past, and it was just so stressful. I didn't have a life. I didn't even want to go outside because I was so focused on making money. And in the grand scheme of things, I know you guys don't want me to say it, but money is not everything. Money is not happiness. Money does not make you happy, I should say. You got to do whatever makes you happy. And if money makes you happy, I mean, that's one thing, but I think family, friends, and health is better than money. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that. But lastly, I want to talk about a cryptocurrency I am personally very, very bullish on, and I am going to keep you guys updated for future months to come on this crypto. I will probably come out with a review this week on this cryptocurrency as well, and that's going to be crypto.com. If you guys are an OG, you might remember them as Monaco. To familiarize you guys that are new with crypto.com, first off, phenomenal website, crypto.com. It's got to be worth millions. Nonetheless, they are a cryptocurrency exchange where you can buy, sell, exchange. They have a cryptocurrency wallet, and they also have their cryptocurrency MCO prepaid Visa cards, and this is where things get really, really exciting. So on July 14th, they did release into the United States, and I did order one. So I have one coming right now to me, to the studio. I will review it on the channel, and I will be going out and spending it and showing you guys how easy it is to spend crypto in the real world. So to just give you a brief rundown of what it's all about, The MCO Visa card is a prepaid card that features high-end metal cards with no annual or monthly fees, up to 5% back on all spending, unlimited airport lounge access, and subscription rebates on popular streaming services, including Netflix and Spotify. And it also has an updated design of a metal card with the Crypto.com logo. But nonetheless, these are incredible features that you're not going to see anywhere else in the world. 5% cash back on all spending. You get 100% back on Netflix and Spotify. You get airport lounge access and a couple other things. Definitely check it out, guys. This gives you the ability to spend your cryptocurrencies at literally anywhere in the world. The gas station across the street. Speaking of the gas station across from my house, I'll put a picture right here. They just installed a Bitcoin ATM in the gas station across my house, and it's really, really cool. You can buy up to $7,500 worth of Bitcoin on it, and it's cash only. Now, they do require verification, unfortunately, so it's not like you can just go up and money launder that way. But I just find that very fascinating. Out of everywhere in the world, I just happen to have a Bitcoin ATM across from my house, and I'm the crypto fiend, right? So that's just awesome. Maybe I'll show you guys a video of me using it within the week or something like that, a little tutorial of how you guys can maybe find an ATM near you, all that sort of stuff. But that's all the news I have for you guys today. Nothing crazy, just starting to get into the groove of things again. I do have a lot of content come to you guys within the next couple weeks, and hopefully further on down the road. We are not stopping. Thank you guys for watching. If you did find this video informative and you're not a part of the community, hit that freaking subscribe button and make sure you tap that little bell so you can get notified for future videos as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next.